Hi, everybody. I'm going to give people just a few seconds to get the notification and log on. Let me post a comment down below. My name is Molly, and I'm coming to you from the New Hampshire Department of Education. I work for the Bureau of Student Wellness, and we're here today to have a conversation about wellness. At the Bureau of Student Wellness, we're hoping to have these conversations daily in the morning and in the afternoon to just kind of check in and have a continuing conversation about how we're doing across the state. These are just check-ins, and we have topics to kind of guide our conversation. Today we're going to be talking about disappointment and what that may look like in this new normal that we're experiencing. So like I said a minute ago, my name is Molly, and I'm from the New Hampshire Department of Education, and I want to talk to you about disappointment. There's been a lot of school closures and cancellation of activities, and I know personally I've experienced disappointment over the past few days and weeks, and we just want to have a really organic conversation about what you may be disappointed about, what your learner may be disappointed about, and how we can share strategies to kind of overcome these disappointments and create a community and a culture where we can share openly about disappointment and how we're kind of overcoming them together. So like I commented down below, if you have a disappointment that you're kind of dealing with or you've recently experienced, feel free to share and discuss your successes and your challenges with it. Personally, one of my biggest disappointments has been not being able to see my family. I'm really close with my sisters, and I have some nieces and nephews, and social distancing is the responsible thing to do that we're all choosing to do, but it is disappointing. So one way I've kind of overcome that myself is reframing what it looks like to interact with my family. So we've started video chatting pretty regularly, and I've been calling to check in on them and using other technology to kind of keep in touch. As I prepared for this, I talked with some high school seniors about their disappointments. They have a new reality that they're dealing with. There are high school seniors that are unsure what their prom or graduation is going to look like. They're unsure about what their senior week might look like or when it's going to happen, and that can be a huge disappointment for seniors and students everywhere. I know there were students preparing for some musicals and other performances that they've worked so hard on, and it can be really disappointing to tell them we're not sure when you're going to be able to do those things. So hoping together we can share our strategies to overcoming these things and supporting our learners across New Hampshire. So I know as a teacher personally, I looked forward to the end of the school year where we had a celebration to kind of celebrate all of our students' successes. And I can imagine there's teachers that might be feeling disappointed about shifting what their normal end of year celebrations might look like. So share down below if you have any suggestions for overcoming those disappointments. But there are 3 strategies that I really want to touch on today for overcoming and dealing with disappointment. And the first strategy is really simple. It's just acknowledging your disappointment, really putting it out there, giving your disappointment a name, and being okay and sitting with the emotion of disappointment. Often I journal, and that's one way for me to acknowledge my disappointment. Sometimes as I'm writing through, I discover disappointments that I wasn't even aware of. And journaling may work great for you. Others might want to create art to share their disappointment, or maybe you have somebody you can confide in and really talk about your disappointment and share your perspective and share their perspective on those things. The second strategy that I want to encourage you all to try is shifting your perspective. We're in a new normal right now with remote learning, social distancing, and COVID-19. There's a lot of new normals for us. There's a lot of learning curves that we're all experiencing. And if you can take the time to really shift your perspective and instead of looking at things from a negative loss perspective and look more at the positives, what new opportunities you might have now that you might be working from home or spending more time with your remote learner. That can really encourage and promote you to overcome your disappointment. One way I shifted my perspective is I was really disappointed about not being able to go into the office and see a lot of my coworkers face to face. But instead, I shifted my perspective and I created this opportunity for myself to learn a new skill. So I've been teaching myself how to bake and try to learn something new. And the final opportunity and strategy I want to talk to you guys about is really evaluating your expectations. A lot of us set goals and expectations for ourselves around what we think we can accomplish, and it can be disappointing if there are barriers in your way to meet these expectations right now. You might have been preparing for the Boston Marathon that was postponed, or you might have been preparing for a school play, end of year celebrations. So I want to encourage you to really think about those expectations you have for yourself and get creative with short-term goals that you can accomplish now while we're socially distancing and while we're remote learning. And think outside the box about how you can still reach those expectations, but maybe in a different way. So with that, I want to encourage you guys to continue this conversation either, with your own learning communities or down below. And I want to really take a moment to think about ways that we've been disappointed and how we've overcame them in the past. And maybe we can use some of those strategies to move us forward. Somebody just commented that they've been talking with other teachers and family, and I'd really like to encourage that. If you're feeling disappointed or maybe isolated, there's a chance somebody else might be, and reaching out to them might not only help yourself, but it could really help others. And make sure you're there for each other and getting outside when it's nice and not snowing, and really make sure that you're taking time for yourself and for reaching out to people you care about. Be sure to stay connected with us. We're going to be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. We're going to be talking about building strong relationships, and then again at 3 p.m. for another one of these after the bell sessions. We are available here on Facebook. Our handle is at New Hampshire Student Wellness, and then we're also available on Twitter at NH Schools. And we've also created a brand new website, nhlearnsremotely.com. We're updating it constantly with new resources, not just for families, but for teachers and admin and students. So we encourage you guys to check out all of these resources and stay in touch. And we hope you're all well. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Thanks.